Always great catching up with my next guest, the number 12 ranked UFC featherweight Thug Nasty, Bryce Mitchell, back here on the program. Bryce, how's it going, man?
Great, brother. Thank you so much for having me. Always enjoy being on the show.
Well, I appreciate that, and I appreciate you taking the time. Where are you right now? It looks like you're having a pretty good time right now.
I'm just relaxing at the farm, brother.
Yeah, peace and quiet. And you still get reception, too. I'm impressed.
Yeah, the internet's doing good today. On a bad day, it won't be so good outside. I have to go inside, but the weather's good today, and I'm loving it.
Before we get into the latest with you and your injury and everything, I don't know if you caught the Korean Zombie and Dan Ige fight last weekend that's in your division. If you did, what did you think of the fight?
I didn't get to see it, but I heard that Zombie took him to the ground, and I thought if Zombie was smart, that's what he would try to do, because I think the Zombie could stand up with him as well, and that would be an entertaining fight. It'd just be a little bit more risky. So I figured that Zombie would try to do that, but I wasn't sure if he would. So I was interested just to hear that he actually did engage him on the ground. Because sometimes he does and sometimes he don't. And I just wanted to know what would happen. And, I was interested in that.
Now that you know the result, I know Ige obviously was the one who lost. There was, you were sort of tied with the fight with him, it seemed like a while back. Is that a fight that still interests you and Dan Ige?
Absolutely. I mean, he called for it. He was the one wanting it, and his manager was just talking crap on his behalf. So, I'm fine with that. I'm really not picky, and anybody that they've ever asked me to, I've never said no. And to my knowledge, that is, maybe if somebody turned it down, it was my management turning down multiple options. When they ask me, I say yes. And then If they ask who I want to fight out of multiple options, I just tell them to pick. And I have no preference.
No, we know that about you, and that's why we love watching you fight. What is the latest? I know the last time we spoke was after your win. You talked about, I think it was a hand injury. Is that still what you're dealing with? Is that injury?
It was broken, that Philly fight, but it's doing a lot better. I've got my full grip strength back, and I'm just making sure I don't punch anything too hard too soon. That'd be a re-break, and that's why I'm waiting for a little while before I take another fight. But I'm in good shape, and I've been training, and I could fight. I could fight right now if I had to. If I got like real bad and dead or something, I could.
Right.
In like a week, if I had to. But I'm just waiting till my hand heals a little bit better till I go pursue one.
I saw the tweet out yesterday where you're saying, I'm not in a rush to get back, because I think, you want to make sure that this doesn't happen again, that you're, taking the right fight and coming back in. I know you'll fight anyone anytime, but I'm sure part of you as well wants to get back in there when everything's healed up and you can be at 100%.
Absolutely. And I don't think that it will happen again if I take my time to heal it and then I change my punching method. I was throwing as hard as I possibly could, so I probably should do that more accurately next time. And if you're swinging as hard as you can, you need to be a little bit more accurate. So I'll be safe with it and wait for a little while till it heals up. And I don't think that it's going to bother me again. But if it does break on the first punch of the next fight, I'm just going to keep fighting like I did last time and fight with the broke hand. I'm fine with that too. But I hope it don't do that.
When are you thinking, if all goes well, that you'll be back in there? Do you think you'll fight before the end of the year, or are you looking more towards next year now, because it is a hand injury? You want to be careful about it.
I really don't know. I kind of landed a hard punch maybe a couple months ago, and it didn't feel good. And I've just waited, And I've hit stuff, but not hard. And I got into some good sparring, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, and it hurt still when I landed a good hit. But I think I hit him in the forehead. So, obviously if you hit somebody in the forehead, it's going to hurt your hand. Especially if their head's down, like you're getting it up here, that's going to really hurt. But, I just got to be more accurate with it.
Okay, that makes sense. How has it been just sort of sitting back and watching the division go on? I know you want to be in there, but there's been a lot of movement. We've got, Volkanovski and Ortega, potentially fighting. Well, it looks like they are going to fight, in September. So have you been enjoying some of the fights in your division?
Absolutely. It's a stacked division, and, it's not as fun sitting on the sidelines and watching it. I want to be in on it, and I'm looking forward to getting back in there. And because as soon as, you don't take a fight for a couple months, people forget about you, because there's all these other badass fights going on in the same division. So I'm trying to get back in there. And, I'm enjoying the matchups. And still I'm confident when I come back that, I'm not going to be ignored. I don't know. I feel like I get ignored. So,
is there like an ideal opponent for you when you get back? I know the division could look differently when you do make your return, but is there someone that you're like, I really want this fight when you come back?
I've been calling out Floyd Mayweather for a while. Everybody knows that. I mean, if y'all want to really see him get his ass kicked, he needs to fight me. All these other fights, the last couple fights he had was thrown. That one fight in Japan, that was thrown. And this Logan Paul fight wasn't thrown, but it was just an easier fight for him. It's like, I'll kick his ass. I'll knock him the fuck out. Like I said, I'll hit him so hard he'll wake up and be able to read books. He ain't never done that before, so it'd be a miracle. Okay, I'll whoop his ass anytime he wants to, but he don't want a real fight. And so besides Floyd, I'm just whoever they give me. I have no preference. I respect all the fighters in my division. I think they're all good fighters.
There is an interesting matchup coming up between Ryan Hall and Topuria, and Hall specifically because I think people want to see the two of you fight because of your ground games. Is that, I know you'll fight anyone and you'll give whoever they give you, but is that a fight you hope happens at some point just because of your styles?
I think a lot of people would like that, and if that's what the fans want to see, then I'm of course interested in it because it's all about what the fans want to see and making people watch. So, but I have little to no power as to who I fight. If I've controlled who I've fought, I'd be fighting Floyd Mayweather right now in this yard right here, just right out there in the back. I'd fight Floyd Mayweather for free. So,
is that something you've talked to the UFC or your management about fighting Floyd? Because, I know he says he's not going to fight anymore, but I mean, you never know. And a UFC fighter enters the fray. Maybe that's something that interests him.
It'd probably scare him off, but I mean, I know he wouldn't actually fight me with no gloves on. I know, he'd probably pillow fight me, or fight me with big gloves or something, but he probably wouldn't actually fight me. But he's been taking a bunch of easy fights, getting paid a bunch of money. So that'd be a great fight for me, I think.
Yeah, I think everyone would want to see that fight. It'd be interesting to see what happens. What did you think of his fight against Logan Paul? I know you mentioned it a bit there, but what did you think of that whole thing? Because it was an exhibition, right? It wasn't a pro fight.
I didn't know that it was an exhibition.
Yeah, it was. That's why there wasn't really a winner. It was just sort of, they were just like, oh yeah, they fought.
Gotcha. Well, I saw kind of the highlights of it, and it just, it looked like Logan was kind of way bigger and could take his best shot. And he didn't just look like he attacked as hard as he could to me. I don't think. I think that he was just kind of like winning the rounds and trying to stall on points. And he didn't want to open up and really throw as hard as he could in combinations and try to take Logan out. That's just what I observed. Maybe he was trying to take Logan out the whole time. I don't know. But he just didn't look like he was being too vicious in there.
And on that same note, what did you think of the Jake Paul Ben Askren fight? I'm sure you didn't watch it live, but I'm sure you at least caught the knockout.
Yeah, that knockout was a pretty bad one. And, man, Askren, probably is going to hang him up on that, or maybe, because that's about it. I mean, that was bad.
Now Jake Paul is fighting Tyron Woodley. Do you think Woodley can be the guy to beat him, or do you think Jake Paul's going to win that fight?
I think the Woodley and Paul fight is a great fight, actually, and I think that I'm rooting for Woodley because he's from MMA. I've watched all of Woodley's fights just for film study, and he's got that good right uppercut and overhand, and he can land it. I mean, I think he'll win. I'm hoping that he does, but I do think it'll be a good fight. That Jake Paul seems to be bigger than he is, and he's younger, so he's probably got a real good chin.
We haven't spoken since your buddy TJ Brown got his first UFC win. How happy were you for him? Because I know it's been a long road for him to get there.
Oh, it was great. And, everybody's happy for him. And it's the first of many to come, and I think he's going to string together a couple. And, he's when he gets relaxed in there, he's going to start hurting people, and it's bad when he gets relaxed in there and gets in his flow, it's dangerous for the opponent. Very dangerous. He'll put you drinking through a straw. He's done that to people. The jaw's broke and now they're drinking through a straw, to eat their food. It ain't fun if you're fighting him. So, and I think he's just really about to unleash what he's capable of.
Has he been back? Because I know he did his camp at Glory, I think, for the last camp. Has he been back home? I imagine he's probably there. Have you seen him or been training with him at all?
Yes, we've been training probably a couple times a week. And we went fishing the other day. And, just like always, of course, we haven't sparred in a while because my hand and whatnot. But we've been doing our wrestling. And when we do spar, it's just real light,
You mentioned fishing. I'm glad you brought that up. We haven't spoken since, I don't know if you saw Gregor Gillespie a few months ago, picked up a win, and then Conor McGregor tweeted him and said that he's the best fisherman in MMA, but I seem to remember Bryce Mitchell being up there when it comes to fishing. Did you see all that with Gregor Gillespie and McGregor?
Yeah, I thought the whole thing was funny and in good spirits, and I think me and Gillespie would get along pretty well. He sounds like he...
I think so too, yeah.
He likes to fish. He likes to wrestle. I mean, I think we got something, in common right there.
Would you ever take up Conor McGregor on a fishing challenge or anything like that?
It wouldn't be much of a challenge if we was going for real.
Confident in your fishing abilities. What's the biggest thing you've caught recently with fishing?
I caught a turtle the other day with me and TJ.
I saw that actually. Yeah, that's true. How was that?
Oh, it was awesome, man. We was trying to catch catfish, hooked 3 or 4 of them, and couldn't get them in the net. And one of them was huge. Just could not get them on the hook good.
Do you eat turtle? Like, how does that work? I've never hunted a turtle before.
Oh, it's good, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah, you enjoyed it?
Cook it. Oh, yeah, I love it. It's not as good as some crappie or something like that, but, I mean, I'm not going to turn it down. And there's people in Louisiana who really know how to cook it. I think they make like a gravy out of it and stuff like that. But I just fry it. That's about all I know. But I know that there's more ways to cook it.
Okay, well, that's interesting. On that same note, have you spoken to the UFC, your management, or Venom? Are you going to get some camo shorts with the new Venom deal?
I guarantee you the camo shorts are coming. Guarantee you.
That's good.
But I guarantee you.
Okay, well, that's good news. I mentioned, earlier we were just talking about stuff. The Ultimate Fighter's back on, and it's actually 2 coaches in your division, Ortega and Alex Volkanovski. Have you been watching that at all? This past season?
Oh, I sure haven't. I haven't watched it in a little while. I stopped watching TV. Spilt my water. I stopped watching TV for a minute.
Would you ever want to coach on that show if you were ever given the opportunity?
I think I would like to coach on the show, but it would have to be way later in my career. I would have to be just almost done with my career, because I don't want to go do seminars with people that I might potentially fight, on the show. And but if I was at the end of my career and only had a couple fights, then it wouldn't really matter. I wouldn't be training with people that I'm competing against, so it wouldn't be weird like that. And I would do it.
Any hunting trips planned for the next bit?
No, I'm just going to be fishing for a little while.
It's probably hard to hunt with your hand anyways, right?
No, I can shoot now. Everything's back to normal, but for a little while I was shooting with one hand.
Which is, yeah, it's probably a lot tougher to do it that way. We got July 4th coming up. You got any plans for that?
Yes, I'm going to go fishing for July 4th. I'm going to be fishing off of a boat, and I guess my old lady rented a bigger boat, like some type of, I don't know, just some fancy boat, and I asked her if I could bring a pole, and she said, yep, so I'm going fishing.
That's awesome. Did you ever get your air conditioner figured out? I saw you made that video, I think it was a few months back or something, about your air conditioner that just broke.
Yeah, the air conditioner still broke, and it was just bad news. You know, it was just something was wrong with it. I don't know. I took perfect care of the thing, and it only really lasted for a couple months. And I paid big money for that. And but me and my buddies do rentals on the side, and so there was a rental with some AC units in it that the tenants didn't want, and they gave me the units. And so I put one of those in there to hold me over until I went and got another one. But that's holding me over for now. And eventually I'm going to go get a bigger one from the store.
And last question before you get out of here, what's on the agenda the rest of the day? You got the hat on, you hanging out, or what's on the agenda for today?
Well, I'm going to run the bush hog for a little bit, and then once I get a good bit mowed, I'm just going to go build some of those bedrooms I've been working on. I've just been building them piece by piece, and I'm building the walls, and then you stand them up and bolt them to the ground, and I'll probably even get a couple bolted to the ground today.
Do you do like jobs for other people as well, or you just do like home renovations?
No, I haven't done any type of work like that in a couple of years.
I was going to say, because you probably get recognized. I imagine people would be like, oh my God, Bryce Mitchell's like doing this for us.
No, not that many people watch MMA, but especially around here, not a lot of people watch it. But I just stopped working just because I have too much projects of my own that I need to be doing. And so I've been doing my own projects at the farm, and just been working. And I used to do painting probably about 3 or 4 years ago. I used to paint a lot. Even a year ago, I was painting, not full time, but I just don't do it a lot anymore.
Well, Bryce, hope the hand heals up and we see you back in action soon. Thanks so much for doing this, man. Always enjoy talking to you. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors, any social media, anything like that? I'll give you the last word.
I'd like to thank you, my brother, for having me on the show. It's always just real chill. I like what you do, man. You help spread the word, and it's just great for people like me. What you do is awesome. And I want to thank Matt Weeble, my manager, First Round Management, for setting this up and organizing my schedule for me and doing stuff like that. And so I can sit out here and bush hog all day, and I'm loving it. So thank you guys so much. Thanks my coaches, thanks my teammates, and everybody watching. Thank y'all.
Make sure to subscribe to the LowKick MMA YouTube channel for all the latest news, event previews, and interviews with some of the biggest stars in MMA.